This powder is called Palomino that I demonstrated here, and it releases August 1st. Hi guys, it's Katie from Cater's Acres. I wanted to take a minute and to tell you about the new mica powders. So if you haven't heard already, I'm carrying mica powder for polymer clay in my store at catersacres.com. So when you get it, it looks like this. It's in a 5-gram jar, and it comes with a little swatch of white polymer clay with Parker there on top, so you can see what the finished color is, and then of course you can always see what it looks like there in the jar. Now this one's been used quite a bit, but I wanted to show you this new mica powder. Now this mica powder is a little bit different than the traditional mica powder that you've been using, so I wanted to show you a couple things about it. So here's my jar next to a traditional jar of Perfect Pearls. So this is Perfect Pearls, and here's my jar. So they are exactly the same height. Okay, so but my jar is a little bit smaller, so the gram weight is also different. Perfect Pearls has more in it than mine does. Perfect Pearls is a large brand by Ranger. Clearly mine is not. Mine's by me, and mine's hand packed by me. But mine also has these little hand-done seals. So I want to show you how to use this mica powder. This mica powder is very different. So the Perfect Pearls or other name brand mica powders, they're lightweight, but they're very dense, as traditional retail powders are. My powders, when you get them, you will find that they are extremely lightweight and extremely soft to the touch. And that is a very good thing, and it works very well for polymer, but you'll find that there's some differences in working with them. So I want to talk about those here today. So I'm making some of the swatches for the top, so I thought what better way to show you. So you saw that I just dipped my finger here in the jar, which is traditionally how I use these mica powders. And so I'm just going to go ahead and rub it directly onto the clay. And that's one way that you can absolutely use these powders. And you'll see how it has a nice, beautiful cast. And it's kind of this brownish, beautiful color. And this is a color that will be released on October 1st called Palomino. And this is just a wet wipe. I'm going to wipe my finger off here. Now, because these powders are so very light, I prefer to use these with a brush because they're so light. Sometimes when you tap your finger in the jar, it puffs out. So this is Margaery's Magnificent brush. It's got a nice brush on one end and a blending side, which works beautifully on the clay. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my brush right in here, both sides, and then I'm going to put it right here on the lid. And you'll see that when you put this on the clay, it almost looks like a kind of a glitter effect, and actually isn't that pretty. And this is because mica powder stands up on edge, because mica is a natural rock. And when you push it down is when it gives that beautiful effect that mica has. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. Now the nice and kind of neat thing about these mica powders is that these mica powders contain some pigment. Not all mica powders do. I'm just going back into the jar here to get some more powder in case you wondered. Not all mica powders do, but the ones that I'm carrying in my store do. So because they contain pigment, they are buildable to a certain extent. So you can place them on the clay and then kind of build up the intensity of the color. You're not going to build up the mica or the metallic effect, but you will build up the color that is achieved on the clay to a little bit, not a whole lot, because once it's on the clay, as you know, the clay kind of grips it. So if you see here how this is very metallic and this is very brown, again, this color is called Palomino. I'm just going to go ahead and finish these because I want to show you how the color changes. Now this color up here is finished, and you'll notice how it's softer and not as brown as this. And that's because I did it with a brush, so it's not as dark, and I haven't built up the color. And that's one of the things that I want to show you. And that's one of the reasons that I chose these powders for my store to carry. Because not only did I like them, but I loved the way that they worked with polymer. Okay, so let's put this aside for a minute. All right, now you can use the blending side of your brush and just simply take it and rub it over your clay to achieve this beautiful kind of a soft focus finish. Look at that mica has, and look how it changed. Bring that brassy metallic to now this soft focus. Or you can use your finger, and it's going to have the same effect, probably a little bit faster. I'm just going to go over all of these here. And I'm doing this rather quickly. You can do it to all of them, or you can do it a much better job if you kind of spend some more time to do it. Now what I'm also gonna do, let's pick one here. Let's pick on this guy since I kind of picked on him a little bit more. Let's build the color up just a little bit. So I'm going back into my mica. I'm gonna put some more mica powder on here. I'm really gonna build up this color just a little. In fact, let's do two of them so you can really, let's do the one underneath it too, so you can really see the difference when I build up this mica powder. And again, this mica powder does contain pigment, so you are able to build it a little bit, which is nice for jewelry effects, for sculptures. It's just a nice effect. And I'm going to use my finger here because it's faster. And look at the difference. So you have this nice soft effect up here. You have this kind of mid effect here, and then you have this much darker. And I'm hoping that the camera can kind of get all three of these effects all with one powder. That's not a normal occurrence with mica powder. It depends on the brand, it depends on the type. Perfect Pearls does not have this effect because it does not have the pigment in the powder. So that's one of the reasons that I chose this powder. The new Pearl Effects just released a new mica powder that does have pigment in it that does do this and works the same way. But all of the mica powders in my shop work this way. So I hope that you try them. I hope you enjoy them. My recommendation again is to use a brush with these. I think you'll be much more satisfied with the results. Again, this is Margaery's Magnificent Blending Brush. When you purchase the mica powder from my shop, they do come with a small travel brush for you that you can put in your travel bag. You can throw in with your mica powder, so you always have some kind of a brush with you. And I hope you try them out at www.catorsacres.com/shop. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Sculpt your dreams, everybody. Bye.